one can anticipate that the mayoral candidate there in New York City, who looks like he's going to win the primary, is also of a similar persuasion. I just got to tell you, this guy, wow. I mean, he might actually pull it off. Zohran Mamdani. Now, like a couple months ago, nobody knew his name. He went up to protest Tom Homan at one point in Albany. That was the first I'd seen of the guy. And AOC came out all for him. But I thought, well, you know, she did that. She did that for the fire alarm guy. Remember Bowman? Right? He pulled the fire alarm rather than actually have them vote on the budget. Wow. Anyway, he wound up not winning his race, no matter how much dancing she did on the stage and how much she used of taxpayer dollars for those dance lessons. It didn't matter. The dancing didn't help. He did not win that election. So, you know, a lot of us thought Zohran, you know, we'll see. We'll believe it when we see it. Well, guess what? You're going to have to believe it when you see it, because here's Polymarket right now, and he's ahead of Andrew Cuomo in the Polymarket expectation. And they've been pretty right? Like we were quoting them a lot during the actual election because they have been spot on. Real money is on the line in that particular case. And as an American, you can't actually bet on it, but a lot of foreigners are. And right now the expectation is that he is going to win this thing. This is AOC's candidate, if you would. And one of the reasons he may win is because they have kind of a funny system where somebody has to get 50% of the votes, and he's not going to get 50%, but neither is Cuomo. And you have so many people in this race, including that guy, Brad Lander. Remember Brad Lander, who made a big stink there? He's the city comptroller, and he actually wound up getting carried out in cuffs recently there because he was trying to defend someone who ICE was after. And so he made kind of a name for himself. And so what you're seeing is he got a lot of attention. And apparently in the runoffs, people are choosing to go with this new guy that nobody had heard of up until recently when Brad doesn't win the day. This is Brad, just to jog your memory.
You don't have to. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway. I asked to see the judicial warrant. By asking for a judicial warrant? You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens asking for a judicial warrant.
Guys, we go too. Sorry. Away. I'm safe.
And there he is, getting carried away. His wife took this video, and they put this out right away, trying to milk it.
Hi, I'm the Comptroller's press secretary. Where are you taking the Comptroller of the New York, the City of New York?
And with what authority?
And so there he is. He's getting hauled off. You can see no violence, nothing like that. We don't see him bumping himself up like La Monica into any of the ICE agents, but he gets pulled away and pulled into the elevator, and you know they eventually released him, etc. But it caused him to get a lot of attention. I'm going to get to this in just a second, because the guy that may actually win, Mamdani, could actually create a big exodus in New York. And that actually bodes very well for Florida real estate, which DeSantis is no fool. He's actually recognized that one. All in all, if he wins, it could backfire badly on the Democrats and backfire, frankly, on New York City, okay? Because one of the things that he has been pushing for as a socialist candidate is higher taxes. This is his New York City tax hike that he wants. He wants to impose a 2% income tax on those making more than $1 million a year. Don't forget, they're basically already paying half to Uncle Sam anyway, and he wants to get more for New York City. He also wants to boost corporate taxes from 7.25 to 11.5%, which would match what New Jersey has. So what are you going to see? You are going to see everybody leaving New York. That's exactly what you're going to see. I'm sorry, but like I can't imagine it any other way, because as soon as that happens, guys, companies are going to say, well, we're not going to pay this, right? We don't want to pay this. And so consequently, they're going to move. And where are they going to move? They're going to move to Texas, or they're going to move to Florida. And Ron DeSantis knows this. So he tweeted this out just when you thought Palm Beach real estate couldn't go any higher. Shocking new poll shows Mamdani overtaking Cuomo in New York City's ranked primary choice. Now, once the primary happens, you'll have till November, because on November 4th, that's when the Democrat would be up against the Republican. But you know, New York is a pretty liberal place, New York City, so one would think that the liberal is going to win. Maybe the Republican will stand a shot. We'll see. But I will say this. DeSantis isn't wrong. Real estate prices in New York are already sky high, but already people are talking about relocating their businesses, their trading businesses. A lot of them have done it already. Think Carl Icahn, right? A lot of hedge funds relocated to Miami. Bill Ackman is talking about taking Pershing Square out of New York, out of Manhattan to Miami because you got 0% income tax. That's pretty sweet. Versus, you already got 4% in New York City. So anybody making more than $1 million would be looking, I guess, at 6%. And you've got the much higher tax rate on corporate profits. Look, the pendulum swings. Maybe eventually people figure out this guy's not the answer because he's going to deplete himself of any capital that the city might have had. Like already it's hard enough in New York City. Everybody's like, bye-bye, see you later, sayonara. I don't need to sign up for high crime and high taxes. And yet, Mr. Mamani here wants both. So watch this very carefully. It's bad news. I'm telling you, bad news for the Democrats. They're going to be sitting there sweating. Like, how did they ever allow AOC to get the kind of attention she's getting? And now this one's coming along and he's really going to decimate the future of the Democrat Party. I'll tell you one person who's kind of happy about it, in addition to AOC, that would be Letitia James. She hates Andrew Cuomo, interestingly enough. We're going to get to that in a second. But, here as we talk about who's going to win New York City mayor, think about it. Look, I know $1 million is a lot of money, but in New York City, which is the financial capital of the world, you have a lot of people earning that. And after taxes, it's $500. None of them send their kids to regular schools because you can't in New York City. So, you get 3 kids, that's minus $150 right there. Actually, it's probably more like $60K these days. So that's minus $180 right out of pocket. You do the math, okay? It's hard to live in New York City. Costs are very, very expensive. So anybody who can will hightail it out. And this guy is going to be left with a bunch of people who can't contribute to the city's coffers. And he's going to be left with high crime and no money to fight it. So good luck to him. Listen, I'm glad I'm out of there. Thank you very much. A lot of people are very, very glad they're out of there. Thank you very much. But this New York City mayoral race is happening tomorrow. Record heat's expected. So a lot of the older people that would maybe come out and vote for Cuomo, they may not come out to vote because the heat's so insane. Kathy Hochul has just passed a law saying we can give out free water to everyone. Apparently all the hipsters, though, in Brooklyn, well, they're not going to be deterred. And simultaneously, a lot of them actually already voted early. So again, one to watch because it's kind of a barometer, if you would, for the Democrat Party. And I think is going to be problematic. It's going to be problematic, face it, for New York City. Because if those tax hikes were to go through, even though Kathy Hochul is saying, no, it's not going to happen. If that were to ever happen and they got 6% municipal taxes, if they got the higher tax rate in New York City for all those financial firms matching New Jersey, there will be a mass exodus because on top of it, because of SALT, right? You can't deduct that from your federal bill anymore. Look, it's a big deal. We have a lot going on today. There's a lot going on. Obviously, overseas in the Middle East, there's a lot going on with the mayoral race being a barometer for the Democrat Party happening tomorrow in New York City. But I don't want to lose sight of the big, beautiful bill, right? Nor does Donald Trump. He's actually out putting things on Truth Social right now about that. Important that it gets done. Important that it happens. Why? Because it is critical for the safety and the success of our U.S. economy. We need the extension of those tax cuts. And you know who agrees with me? My friends over at AFP. We love those guys. You can go to Protect Prosperity to learn more today. ProtectProsperity.com. They have a whole grassroots effort if you want to get involved. But it's really important that all of this happen and relatively soon. I want to get to another sponsor on the show, our friends at Balance in Nature. I take my fruits and veggies from Balance in Nature. Can't beat it. That plus a whole lot of water and exercise and doing what I can to eat well. With the occasional McDonald's, okay, piece of my mind now and then. Yeah, occasionally I splurge. But anyway, Balance in Nature, just a great company, and we thank them for all their support here. You can get Balance in Nature. They have all kinds of different products on the website. I really do encourage you to check it out. Go to balanceinnature.com. Type in my name, use code word Trish because you'll get 35% off. So good for you, good for me. It's free shipping too. Free shipping and money back guarantee. You can call them at 1-800-246-8751. Again, it's 1-800-246-8751. That's balanceinnature.com.